Dear students, welcome to School of Finance and Commerce, Galgotias University. Today we will going to discuss the second topic of International Finance of Unit 1. The name of this topic is Balance of Payment. So let us start now. These are the objectives of this lecture. This lecture will help you in understanding the meaning and concept of balance of payments. You will also get to know about the features and importance of balance of payments with the help of this lecture. And you will also get to know the difference between balance of trade and balance of payments after going through this lecture. These are the contents through which we would be moving upon. Initially, we will start with the introductory part and then we will move on to the features of balance of payments. Then we will discuss the balance of trade. Then we will move on to the difference between balance of trade and balance of payment. Then after that we will discuss the importance of balance of payment, and finally we will discuss the components of balance of payment. Now if we start with the introductory part, so as you all know, a country has to deal with other countries in respect of the following things. Number one is visible items. Those visible items include all types of physical goods which are exported and imported, and invisible items, which includes all those services whose exports and imports are not visible. For example, transport services or medical services or any other services. Then next is capital transfers. They are concerned with capital receipts and capital payments. Now as far as balance of payments definition is concerned, so according to Kindle-Berger, the balance of payments of a country is a systematic record of all economic transactions between the residents of the reporting country and the residents of foreign countries during a given period of time. So actually it is a double entry system of record of all economic transactions between the residents of the country and the rest of the world, which are being carried out in a specific period of time. When we say a country's balance of payments, we actually are referring to the transactions of its citizens and government. Now this is one of the most important definition of balance of payment, as this definition is given by the Reserve Bank of India. So as per RBI, the balance of payments of a country is a systematic record of all economic transactions between the residents of a country and the rest of the world. It presents a classified record of all receipts on account of goods exported, services rendered, and capital received by residents, and payments made by them on account of goods imported and services received from the capital transferred to non-residents or foreigners. So this is the definition which covers each and every aspect of balance of payments. This definition, as I had already told you, was given by Reserve Bank of India. Now the features of balance of payments. So if we discuss these features, number one is, it is a systematic record of all economic transactions between one country and the rest of the world. It includes all transactions, visible as well as invisible. It relates to a period of time. Generally, it is an annual statement. It adopts a double entry bookkeeping system. It has two sides, credit side and debit side. Receipts are recorded on the credit side and payments are recorded on the debit side. Now the balance of trade. So the difference between a country's imports and its exports is known as balance of trade. Balance of trade is the largest component of a country's balance of payments. So in case of balance of trade, in debit we include all the items of imports, foreign aids, domestic domestic spendings which the country is making abroad, and the domestic investments which the country is making abroad. As far as credit side is concerned, in this we include all the items of exports, foreign spendings in the domestic economy and foreign investments in the domestic economy. So when exports are greater than imports, then we call it as the balance of trade is favorable. But in case the imports are greater than the exports, then the balance of trade is known as unfavorable balance of trade. Now balance of trade versus balance of payment. So the balance of payment takes into account all the transactions with the rest of the world. But in case of balance of trade, it considers only the trade transactions with the rest of the world. So this is the major difference between the balance of trade and the balance of payment. Now the difference in detail is as follows between both of them, the balance of payment and the balance of trade. If we talk about balance of payment, it is actually a broad term as compared to balance of trade. So balance of trade is a narrower term. Now balance of payment includes all transactions related to visible, invisible and capital transfers. But balance of trade includes only visible items. Balance of payment always balances itself automatically. But balance of trade, it could be either favorable balance or unfavorable balance. In case of balance of payments, the formula is current account plus capital account or the balancing items plus or minus whatever it is. We also call them errors and omissions. And to calculate the balance of trade, the formula is net earnings on exports minus net payments for imports. The main factors which affects the balance of payments are conditions of foreign lenders, economic policy of government and all the factors of balance of trade. But in case of balance of trade, the factors which affect the balance of trade are cost of production, availability of raw materials, exchange rates and prices of goods manufactured at home. So this is the difference between both of them in detail. Now importance of balance of payments. Balance of payments records all the transactions that create demand for and supply of a currency. It judges the economic and financial status of a country in the short term. Balance of payment may confirm trend in economy's international trade and exchange rate of the currency. This may also indicate change or reversal in the trend. This may indicate policy shift of the monetary authority, that is Reserve Bank of India of the country. Balance of payment may confirm trend in economy's international trade and exchange rate of the currency. This may also indicate change or reversal in the trend. Now the general rule of balance of payment accounting. If a transaction earns foreign currency for the nation, then it is known as credit and it is recorded as a plus item, means we are getting something. If a transaction involves spending of foreign currency, so it is a debit item and it is recorded as a negative item, means something is getting out from our side. Now the various components of balance of payment statement. These are the various components. Number one is current account, then capital account, then reserve account and then errors and omissions. So these are the four components of balance of payment statement. Now we will going to discuss all these four components in detail one by one in the upcoming slides. Number one is current account balance. Balance of payment on current account is a statement of actual receipts and payments in short period. It includes the value of export and imports of both visible and invisible goods. There can be either surplus or deficit in current account. The current account includes export and import of services, interests, profits, dividends and unilateral receipts or payments from or to abroad. Balance of payment on current account refers to the inclusion of three balances of namely merchandise balance, services balance and unilateral transfer balance. Now these are the types of balances. Number one is trade balance. If we talk about the merchandise, it would be exports minus imports of goods. If we talk about in terms of services, then it would be exports minus imports of services. Similarly, income balance, net investment income means net income receipts from assets, and net international compensation to employees means net compensation of employees. Next is net unilateral transfers. It means the gifts from foreign countries minus gifts to foreign countries. Now second is capital account balance. The capital account records all international transactions that involve a resident of the country concerned changing either his assets with or his liabilities to a resident of another country. Transactions in the capital account reflect a change in a stock, either assets or liabilities. It is a difference between the receipts and payments on account of capital account. It refers to all financial transactions. The capital account involves inflows and outflows relating to investments, short-term borrowings or lending, and medium-term to long-term borrowing or lending. Now, there could be a surplus or deficit in case of capital account also. It includes private foreign loan flow, movement in banking capital, official capital transactions, reserves, gold movement, etc. So these are classified into two categories. Number one is direct foreign investments and number two is portfolio investments and then other capitals. The next is the reserve account. Three accounts, that is IMF, SDR and reserve and monetary gold, are collectively called as the reserve account. The IMF account contains purchases and repurchase, that is debit, from International Monetary Fund. Special drawing rights, SDRs, they are a reserve asset created by IMF and allocated from time to time to member countries. It can be used to settle international payments between monetary authorities of two different countries. Then last is errors and omissions. So the entries under this head relate mainly to leads and lags in the reporting of transactions. It is of a balancing entry and is needed to offset the overstated or understated components. So whatever the mistake is there, it is being resolved or it is being rectified by passing the entry of errors and omissions. So these are the four questions on the basis of whatever you have understood with the help of this lecture. The students are supposed to answer these questions. These questions are within the lecture only. So the question number one is discuss in detail the meaning and scope of meaning and concept of balance of payments. Then question number two is throw some light on the main features and importance of balance of payments. Then question number three is differentiate between balance of trade and balance of payments. And question number four is discuss in detail all the components of balance of payments. These all are the references from which the material to prepare this lecture has been taken. Thank you so much for your patience listening. Now if any point is not clear to any one of you or you want to seek more clarity in any of the point or any of the topic which we had discussed in this lecture, then you can contact me at any point of time. Thank you once again.